In this video, I wanted to go over 5 reasons that people quit out of the rec center and how to avoid them. And without any further ado, I'm gonna get right into it at number 1, and that's because people come in with the wrong builds. Let's face it, we all have been there. The squad is trying to form a Voltron and they're waiting by the doors in the rec center lobby on you so y'all can walk through the door. So what do? They send you that game invite, and you of course quickly accept it, load into the last build that you played on, forgetting that you was trying to build up a new player and he's only 80 overall. Or better yet, you have 2 builds with the same build name and both of them are the same overall. It's happened to the best of us, where we quit out of the rec just to go and get our correct builds. And as a dude that runs mostly with randoms, I feel like this always happens when I got a decent squad of randoms. Never when I had that drippy left-right point guard, and I would love to quit out. In order to avoid having to quit a whole rec game because of this, the key thing you're gonna want to do is to be diligent when loading up into the game. It only takes a few seconds to open the menu and load up your player's stats or something just to check and double check to make sure that we're using the right builds and we don't have to quit out of a rec center game. Moving on to the next reason on our list that I've seen as to why people quit out of the rec is because their settings got reset or are all messed up. For some reason, every time I dashboard out of 2K, my settings get reset. This has been an ongoing issue all 2K22. And call me crazy, but when the meter is on, I cannot shoot for my life. It affects my shots, and I'm sure it's all a mental thing, but I have found myself quitting out of rec games just to turn off my bar or my defensive assist, as these are 2 settings that 2K just keep resetting for me. Please fix this, 2K. But even if 2K doesn't fix it, the simple fix that we can make ourselves, or adjustment I should say, is just to make it a habit to always check your settings first thing when you sign on to 2K. It may seem like it's a waste of time or that it takes too much time to do and you ain't trying to do that, but trust and believe, in the long run, it will save you a bunch of time. Because it takes way longer to dashboard out of the rec center after finding out your bar is on and having to load back into a new game. Can you relate to some of these reasons people quit out of the rec? Share your thoughts down in the comment section, and also like the video. And make sure to keep on watching as I'm gonna go into 3 of the top reasons that I think people quit out of the rec center and how not to have it happen to you. And moving on to number 3, that's being blackballed. Let's face it, we have all been the random on a team, or have had a random on our teams that at halftime only has 2 shot attempts. Meanwhile, everyone else is in or close to double digits shot attempts, and we're blowing the team out by like 30 something. And again, as a career random, trust me, it feels crappy to be in that position. You feel like you're being treated kind of like you're an AI, sometimes even worse than an AI. And I've seen it has led to a number of quits, or worse, professional sell jobs. I can't tell you the number of randoms I've seen who will sell the game just by sitting in the paint on offense and getting 3 seconds for the entirety of the remainder of the game, or not even crossing the timeline on offense. But I can't really be too mad at these players. Are super demoralized by not getting the rock on offense, that they will waste their time just to make sure that your team does not win. While it's definitely a whack move to make, in my opinion, I can't be 100% mad at them. That is their way of protesting. But to alleviate teammates or yourself from quitting out of the rec, or worse, selling due to not getting the rock, just be sure and pass the ball, hit the open man, don't jack up bugged out shots. If you're running with your boys and you get a random, try to get them involved early. Don't wait until they start the sell job to now want to pass them the rock or send them a party invite. They're not gonna join. Remember, the rec is a 5-man game. Just because you don't know the random or randoms on your squad doesn't mean they ain't here to have a good time. It's like you and your boys. Look for them every now and then on a fast break. It's okay to let them create their own shot. And if you're blowing out the other team, please feed the random. And work on different facets of your game if you're blowing the other team out. But that's a topic for another video. And a point of note for the ones that are being blackballed, first and foremost, that selling-ish, that's for the birds. Just quit out. But also, try and play smarter basketball, as most squads are super duper apprehensive about passing to randoms, or just randoms in general, because they think that randoms have super low IQ and is gonna sell the game. Which, in their defense, honestly, do be the case a good considerable portion of the times. But show them that's not the case here with us. Show them that we're smart basketball players, smart 2K players. We know how to space the floor, pass up a good shot for a great shot, and I guarantee you it will be returned to you in tenfolds. Moving on to reason number 4 on the list of why people quit out of the rec center, it's because of them AIs. AI defense is smothering at times. And I mean, who queues up Rec Center to play against a computer, right? We play Rec Center to play against other people, not to sit in the corner with an AI on us for 20 minutes. And I can't even lie to you, it certainly is trash playing against an AI, but you know, it's life. Sometimes it is what it is. If you play smart basketball, you can and will score on an AI defense in 2K22. If you're a dribble head, you can do the step back cheese. It works on the AI all the time. Or run them into a pick and roll, force the switch, so you can at least get one possession with a real human being playing defense against you. And then if you're big, more times than not, you can just drop step cheese your AI to death. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to quit out of the rec just because you have an AI on you. There are still ways to score on that vaunted AI defense, but one point of emphasis when it comes to spacing out the floor, please just sit in the corner if you don't have the ball. Moving on the list, getting dropped off. You know this had to be on this list. Not many things in the sports world feels worse than getting a 40-piece dropped in your head, or 81. Ask Jalen. We have all been there at one time or another, and it simply just does not feel good. Now, how to avoid this, you may be asking? Well, the obvious answer is going to be to step up your defense, but how to? Well, first and foremost, take a step back, assess the situation. How is your man's killing you? Try to find out his tendencies and make adjustments off of that. Thug it out, bruh. And don't quit. Rather, use this as a learning experience to help you to figure out how to become a better defensive player in 2K. Or if all else fails, jump on the mic and call out for a switch or something. My bonus reason as to why people quit out of NBA 2K22 Rec Center is that their teammates are trash. Well, let me not say trash. They have super low basketball IQ and or 2K IQ, and you can see that the loss is inevitable. And I know you know what I'm talking about. We have all been there where your team just won that tip-off. Half of your squad is setting picks for you. The others are violently sprinting back and forth through the paint. And you already know it's about to be one of them long games. And don't let the other team drop into one of them super sweaty zones. You know it's GG's at that point. And to save yourself time, you probably will dashboard out. Definitely does be like that sometimes. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel as though a lot of my quits come in this manner. But honestly, this too is avoidable. The best way to avoid this pitfall is to have your own squad when you're heading into the rec. Or at least do your due diligence while in the teammate waiting area. Check your potential teammate stats. See if you got one of those super drippy point guards that's averaging 17 points on 30-something shooting percentage and less than 1 assist. Also, consider joining the Discord as we are trying to build a community of like-minded ballers who value IQ over cheesiness. The link's in the description below. And let me know, what are some other reasons y'all feel people quit out of the rec center for? And what are some ways to avoid them? Let's keep this conversation going down below in the comments section. And as always, till the next time we speak, peace and love, y'all. Lucky out. 1.